Well, I attended iCAST again this year. The very first day was on the water before the big show started. And although I've always been a Pelican guy, Wilderness Systems has really been rubbing off on me a lot lately. Here you can see what is now my favorite inflatable, the iAttack 110. But out here on the dock, there was another Wilderness boat that was attracting a lot of attention. Of course, represented were the rock-solid Pelican boats that people have been paddling for a few years now and catching a lot of fish, such as the Catch Mode and of course the Catch Classic. However, I meandered my way to the front of the line because I had to get on this brand new Wilderness boat slash kayak that everybody seemed to be talking about. This thing boogies. Maybe not as fast as that guy. It quickly became apparent to me that this is a high-end vessel, meant more for a motor than it is to be paddled. It had a lot of room for electronics. It had lots of hatches. Everything about this boat seemed to be very high quality and very big. That is an enormous deck. Can you say that?
Man, what I wouldn't give to have a huge deck like yours.
I'm walking all over this thing. Which end's forward? Which end's back? I don't know. Okay, I like the swivel. Love this deck, which is giant.
Oh, it's too. It's too. It's too.
Okay, I'll stop bragging about how big it is now. That's right, guys. I'm at iCAST again this year on this boat, which I've gotten to see for the very first time today. I didn't even know it existed until this morning. I mean, I knew there was a new boat that they were excited about, but man, Wilderness. This thing is a beast. All right, it's getting kind of warm out, so I'm gonna head inside and I'll show you a little bit more about this boat. Here at the show, this here is Josh. He knows a lot more about this boat than I do.
How's it going?
Can you teach us something about this amazing thing?
Absolutely, you can get right to it. So the idea of this is all starts with a hull. The hull is a key point for this. And we got the double pontoons, catamaran style. But instead of stopping before it gets to the bow of the boat, we extended it all the way to the bow of the boat. The idea was to get it off that traditional V-shaped keel and get that double pontoon. So when you are going either stern mount, bow mount, motored, and you have that traditional V-shaped keel, when you're turning and you're going into your turns, there's a lot of roll, and it's usually a lot of opposite rolls. So you're turning right, you're rolling left, really the stability is lost. So due to that dual pontoon catamaran style, it locks you in. So instead of you pivoting on this keel line, it keeps you flat and that turn just stays stable throughout.
I can attest to that when I was on the water yesterday. This thing turns really fast. If it turns fast sideways, you tend to roll, like you were saying, but this thing threw you sideways in your seat, but it stayed flat. And when you stood up front, it also didn't start to roll, because kind of like the Bass Raider that has those pontoons that go the whole length of the boat. It seems no matter where you are in this thing.
Yeah, no matter where you are, you stay grounded, stay flat. You feel locked in, you feel really stable. You're not worried about tipping over or anything like that with this whole design. So with the whole design, it allowed us to put the motor at the bow at an angle, dropping it directly between your dual pontoons, giving you a nice, safe area for that shaft to sit, protecting your investment up here.
Right, so if you're fishing a dock or something, you're not going to bust your the shaft.
You're just going to rub off the side right here, and all that shaft is going to be nice, well protected.
That's pretty neat.
As well as it being in line going sideways, when it's fully stowed, you still have all the access to your bow bin.
It's like the small version of the Recon.
Yep.
But yeah, that's neat. I like that it's offset, not symmetrical.
Yeah, giving you that full access to all that deck area. I mean, we're able to fit a 60 amp hour battery up there, no problem whatsoever.
Wow. That's not the only battery in this thing though.
No, not even close.
Let me show you the back.
Yes.
We've got the Wilderness crate. I know I've talked about this thing in the past, but what's under that crate on this boat?
So under here, the idea was to get as much as we could inside the hole, really put that center of gravity below, not give you all that weight up on top, giving a tipping point.
Yeah.
So what we did was did an extra large battery hatch back here, interior battery hatch. Whereas right here we have a bow and a stern motor on this, on the Tactical Pro.
Yeah, you do.
So you need 2 batteries.
Twin micros,
Yep.
you're set up for that?
So we have 200 amp hour batteries directly fitted right below here in a mold-in bin, keeping that battery nice and flat. Yep.
Probably below the water line, I guess.
It's below the water line, getting you nice and grounded, getting that low center of gravity. We have pre-ran a motor wire, 8-gauge wire, going from the bow to the back hatch. Included in that is a 60 amp inline fuse, ready to go.
You said 8-gauge wire.
Yeah, 8-gauge wire.
And 200 amp hours. That's significant.
Yep, and it's all literally located directly below your storage. It's not up in your way. You're not reaching around it to get to your crate. It's below. Your wires aren't exposed to the elements. I mean,
that's true.
Ideal situation.
And you don't have to hack your boat up. If you buy a brand new boat and you got to rig it yourself get creative, you might void the warranty and stuff.
You might have to look you up. They'll be looking you up on YouTube trying to figure out how to run their wires. We've already eliminated that.
Know. I'm not afraid to cut holes in my boat, but I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with that, understandably. That's the plug up front?
Yep, so to get away from that whole drilling into your hole where it can't be fixed, we've included 5 power plates.
That's pretty cool.
So the idea of these power plates is you drill through the power plate, run your wires wherever you want, but if you ever decide to change the way that you are, rigging your boat or anything like that, these will be a replaceable accessory. Okay. So what you do is you just unbolt it, put that new one in there with the new gasket and hardware, and you're pretty much starting fresh. You're not having to try to weld your hole, leave a through-hole wiring kit that's not necessary no more. It just gives you that nice clean slate once again.
That's pretty awesome. And this is a plug for a trolling motor?
Yep. And so it's a three plug.
This would be an aftermarket thing?
Yes, the tail itself will be an aftermarket.
Including the socket?
This socket itself will be included with the boat.
Oh, nice.
Ran from here all the way to that back.
You don't even have to install the plug there.
No, the plug will be already there, as well as the mounting plate right here. This marine grade HDP will be included from factory there, giving you a nice solid platform to mount your bow motor.
You know,
a lot of companies now, you have to purchase that after you purchase your boat.
Yeah, or you have to make it yourself. I've made a lot of motor mounts myself, and people are like,
the idea is we wanted
don't know how to do it.
Included this with it, therefore we're plug and play. We want to get you on the water as fast as possible.
Right.
Minimum effort. So.
And again, you don't have to hack your boat to pieces.
Right.
It's already set up for it.
Yep.
And this boat is big. Not so much in length. What is it? 12 foot?
It's 12.8 and 38 inches wide with the catamaran's going all the way through to the bow.
Yeah, 38 inches wide is pretty big.
Yep.
So it's understandable why it's so stable. And it's, a heavy boat,
158 is what it is, the weight of it right now.
So it's heavy in accessories and options and things that you get with it, but the price is not so heavy. What is the MSRP?
The price is $21.99 is what this will be priced at for market.
$21.99. You get a boat that's set up for motors.
Yes, does not come with motor. But motor ready plug and play feature.
Right, but you have a beautiful seat, a swivel seat.
Yep, full swivel, 360. Air Pro Aces swivel 360, same one you'll find on your Recon.
Let's get on this seat here. That works. And it goes forward and back, so you can, depending if you want to reach your stuff.
That, or you do adjust your trim based on if you're running a bow or stern motor, you adjust your trim right there from the seat.
Sideways, fish sideways if you want. Reach back here, get your stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
I know on the water I was standing back here, so you have the option to stand. Definitely up here, I don't care how big you are. The capacity is 600 pounds.
Designed to operate up to 600 pounds, and performance will not suffer due to that.
So in worst case scenario, you could actually probably put more weight on this thing.
Yeah, that is 600 pounds is not max capacity. That is performance-driven capacity. And to the what we're calling captain's bridge. So a lot of the kayaks are going now, and for aftermarket, you can get pretty much a rail set that goes across the bow of the boat, giving you room for dual graphs or anything. We decided to go ahead and include ours integrated into the boat straight from the factory. Your captain's bridge is already there. Nice, stable, heavy-duty rail.
There's a lot of it too.
Yes.
I mean, you got rails over here as well that go
so
way
we have
back.
two 64-inch rails going down each side. Total rail length on this Tactical Pro is 18 feet worth of rail space on this boat.
So if you're nuts and want to put everything, including the kitchen sink, on your boat.
Absolutely, which we've done here. Even with everything that's on the Tactical Pro, if you've noticed, you still have just ample amount of just open deck space, and that was the key feature, was to make it so you could rig it as you want it, but you still have that open layout where you're not worried, you're not in a box, you're not closed off. You just have that room to really fish.
Yeah, and I want to add that sometimes boats have open spaces that fill up really quickly. For instance, if you want to measure your fish, you got a board here.
Yep.
You have a place for the board. This is a standard board that people would use in a tournament.
Yeah, standard regulated boat.
Imagine you put your fish down on the deck and you still have all this space for your feet.
Yeah, I mean, just my right there. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of
Plenty
space
of
there.
space.
Space underneath here for gear.
yep.
In the sides, pockets, places everywhere.
So this is the brains for the whole system. It's what's running all your all your lights. So you know, mid, turn.
Man, this looks like a car. You
Yep.
got a dashboard.
Those plates enable you to put whatever you put, any kind of customization that you want on it for your preference, pretty much. And we kind of strategically place them where we believe the most used areas is, but with it being just that rectangle space, it doesn't have to necessarily be bought and be purchased for this boat. I mean, for me, I'll probably end up adding another power plate right there on that nice flat surface.
That is nice.
So we did design the boat with intent for certain things, but we did leave a lot of spaces still available for you to customize as you please and make it pretty much your boat, just specifically designed for what you need it for. And that was a big key feature for it.
That's a kayak thing. That's something that's great about kayaks, I think, because you buy the thing and you want to make it your own, you want to personalize it.
Absolutely.
Maybe not so much with a boat.
Yep.
You buy a boat, the factory tells you what you have, where the hatches are and where the buttons are. Whereas you buy a kayak and you want to outfit it,
Yep.
flat areas for you to add things like this. That's pretty key. I mean, I've seen a lot of roundish boats,
Right.
and you're like, where am I going
Everything
to mount something?
So now up here we have a single, we're calling it it's a single bin, but it is a dual hatch. We got two separate hatches,
Yeah.
but it's a single bin. So it's all the way through, but it is a roller molded in feature, so it's not a drop-in bin, it is completely sealed bin all the way around.
Those look like pretty nice hatches too.
Oh, yeah.
Waterproof, I mean,
Yep.
ish.
As well as a nice standing platform, rock solid. So right here, you're directly under that volume of those pontoons on the bottom. So pretty much as soon as you step up there to get that nice sight fishing, you just lock in place and you feel like you're just standing on the ground, rock solid.
I walked up here yesterday and stood on this, and I know I'm not a big guy, but I've seen other big guys
Yep.
actually doing that. And it's astonishing that you can walk that far forward on a boat and not have it be tippy.
Yeah, and it's not a shuffle step. It's not a not pick your feet up. It's literally just as you walk on the ground, pick your feet up in place, and you stand on one side. You don't have to worry about keeping that center feet even on both sides. This with the dual pontoons and the stability of this boat enables you to walk as you would throughout your house, basically. I mean,
This thing is so innovative. On the water yesterday, a lot of companies were out there with their kayaks showing off their stuff, and this stood out.
Yes.
It was just different than everything else out there. And it was attracting a lot of attention. There was a line of people waiting to take this boat out. This guy was standing in the sun with a black shirt all day
got a little
yesterday.
bit of red on me.
Yep. But,
One after another, we had people. It didn't come off the water until we were done, and we tore it down. Which
and we stayed out there pretty late. And again, the response to this boat was amazing. I think there's going to be a lot of imitation coming out because when you have a really good idea, the best form of flattery, of course.
Yeah. So going with that to the whole design on the bottom of the boat with a bow mount motor, we do notice after you get past that 10-foot range, that length causes that back end to drift and sway on you when you're trying to track straight. So what we've done is we have included a quick release skeg for the bottom. So when you are going and you're trying to get to where you need to go,
That's got to be pretty huge for preventing that.
for sure it locks that stern end, doesn't allow that swaying and that drifting of the back end. It locks you in so you can get to point A to point B without losing any kind of miles per hour or any of the sort. But then when it's stowed, when you're going in and out them docks, it stows and enables that back end to just to be maneuverable as free as you want it to be.
This back end is pretty awesome.
Same thing, you have
This
two-
is an aftermarket mount, correct?
Yeah, this is aftermarket mount for the Newport NK300. From factory, we do have a marine grade HDP plate on the back side, giving you that nice backing plate, giving that structure, because we know you bolt this straight to the boat, you're going to get a lot of flexing due to the torque of the motor. You're going to get a lot of stretching.
Yeah, this is what, 65 pounds of thrust or something?
Yeah, I think it's close. It's equivalent to 3 horsepower.
Wow.
Yep, 3 horsepower.
Twin power poles.
Twin power poles,
that's outrageous.
perfect location for power poles or anything of the sort. 2 more power plates for running all your power wires internally, getting them up out of your way. You don't want to be fumbling with your wires and whatnot.
God, it's an amazing boat.
2 molded handles on the back end, give you a nice place on each side to hold that thing. Whether
you're gonna carry this boat all down to the water, are you?
Or if you're trying to, if you are loading it and you are truck bedding it with an extender, it gives you a nice place to hold and push inside the truck of your bed.
Yeah, again, this is 158 pounds. It's something you're probably gonna want a trailer, but it's not inconceivable that you could use a dolly on this thing. Got one right here. This is a Wilderness dolly. And we have transported this thing around the show for setting it up, taking it down to the water. And for all you guys out there with skiffs or small water boats that you usually might use that have all these features, good luck putting it on a trolley and taking it to the water. So the accessibility is still there, even though she's a beast. However, I gotta say, before you guys take out your wallets and try to buy this, it is not available yet. This is a prototype.
Yeah, we're pretty much dialed in where we're at, little things here or there. So this will be available March of 2025. Price point at $21.99.
$21.99 for a big monster boat like this. I'm telling you, this is gonna turn heads. And today is the, I don't even want to mention it, but you know, like they judge all the products at iCAST. This is definitely one of the best, if not the best, that I've seen out there.
Just a quick note from the editor. This year at iCAST, I was only there for 1 day. So I'm back here at home now. And while I was editing this video, I looked up online, and sure enough, the Wilderness Systems Tactical 128 won Best of Show for Boats and Watercraft at iCAST. So I guess I know a winner when I see it.
Don't take my word for it though. Look around. There are a bunch of videos out there. We saw Alex, we saw Justin making videos. They're great at judging things here at iCAST. And I know they've been talking about the new Wilderness Systems Tactical Pro 128. Remember that name, you're gonna hear it again in the future. Josh.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
For sure.
Stick with me as always, and I'll give you more details as they come to me. But man, Wilderness has got some cool stuff up their sleeves.